Hello, and welcome to Soul Food and Fuel for Your Life. I'm your host, Kenton David Bell. Today, I'm going to challenge some of your core beliefs around who you are, what you're capable of, what science has told us, what spirituality has been preaching and seeking for millennia. Today, we're going to talk about human consciousness, the mind, the awareness, and your DNA. Not just the DNA that they talk about in science, where they've mapped the genome and they talk about junk DNA, which we kind of chuckle at because in reality, there really is no junk DNA. But there's also a DNA that goes beyond the physical that science has discovered so far. And this, some call it spiritual DNA. Think of it as cascading down from the ethers and higher vibrational places and spaces that it comes from. Think of it dropping down into density where it eventually becomes DNA, cascading down through the dimensional energies and into the manifest physical reality that you and I experience and call reality every day. And just imagine for a moment that inside of you is the programmer, the genetic scientist that knows how to alter this DNA. You know, they now know that DNA actually holds something to akin of computer code. This is becoming more and more accepted. Now, it might not be accepted by hardcore old evidence proof, empirical proof science, but more and more researchers are discovering this. But let's get beyond that. Let's go into your inner knowing, the inner being, the genetic landscape, if you will, of the human being. And this today, my friends, is where I want to talk you into. I want to talk you into this landscape. I want to help us open the doors, turn on the lights to these spaces and places that we are just beginning to venture into. Personally, I believe this, along with quantum physics, DNA, and psychology and spirituality, all wrapped up in one, is the future and the understanding of the future of the human being 2.0. In a world where science and spirituality are increasingly intertwined, there is a new understanding of the human experience emerging. This understanding reveals that our thoughts, emotions, and intentions are not just fleeting experiences, but powerful tools that shape our reality at the most fundamental level, the DNA within us. At the heart of this new spiritual psychology is this concept that our DNA is not static. It is dynamic, responsive, and ultimately connected to our consciousness in a very intimate, direct way. Through the power of intention, visualization, and emotion, we can influence our DNA, guiding it towards health, vitality, even transformation. Emotions are the language of the body. Positive emotions like love, joy, and gratitude are not just uplifting feelings, they trigger biochemical responses that can enhance DNA repair, reduce stress, and promote well-being. In this way, our emotional state acts as a key that can unlock the full potential of our genetic blueprint. Our understanding of epigenetics further reveal how our environment, thoughts, and emotions can switch genes on and off without altering the DNA sequence at all. This means that the choices we make, how we feel, think, and interact with the world can have lasting impacts on our health and the expression of our genes. From energetic perspectives, our thoughts and emotions resonate at a specific frequency, influencing the energy field surrounding our DNA. Higher vibrational states associated with positive emotions create a harmonious environment, enhancing the DNA's ability to heal, adapt, and thrive. This is the essence of new spiritual psychology, a holistic approach that recognizes the profound connection between mind, body, and spirit. By consciously cultivating positive emotions, setting clear intentions, and visualizing our desired outcomes, we tap into innate power of our DNA, aligning it with our highest potential. In this new era of spiritual psychology, we are not just passive observers of our genetic destiny, we are the active creators capable of shaping our reality from the inside out. By embracing this truth, we unlock the true power of DNA and step into a life of deliberate creation where anything is possible. Now, back when I had my initial Kundalini awakening in 1997, it was shortly after that I started having these inner visions of the DNA strand. It didn't look quite like the DNA double helix that we're used to seeing. It was more of a loose combination and chain of colors. And in this, I found that when I had a particular emotion or mindset combined with a particular emotion, it would show up a particular way. One of the things that showed up over and over again that still shows up today is where I experience what I might call a repression within the DNA sequence itself. And when I am feeling perhaps a little low energy or thinking small and limited, and I look in this DNA picture, I see what I call energy or a color of repression affecting the DNA within myself. When I'm able to look at it in a state of relaxation, sort of a meditative mindset, I'm actually able to release that restriction, and in a very short span of time afterwards, I start to feel much more positive and uplifted. Now, there's many reasons for this, perhaps. One of the ideas that's out there in the metaphysical spiritual community is that perhaps we were genetically engineered at one time. Perhaps not all of us, but meaning not the whole human, but perhaps aspects of the human DNA were altered, modified, in order to achieve a particular result. As I said, the feeling when this comes in is it feels repressive. It feels as though it's limiting and making a smaller version of what the human being, I'm referring to myself, is actually capable of. We're not going to go into some of the theories around that right now, but shortly I will make a video with that. I'm just putting this out there, wanting you to take this into consideration, that you have the ability to affect your DNA in ways that are beyond what we've been told or taught, ways beyond our normal day-to-day comprehensions of who we are. But we're in a time of great transformation. The planet, the species of human, all of us are going through a transfiguration of who we've been into who we are becoming. I believe that this DNA is one of the avenues into not only just understanding it to a great deal, but actually uncovering the truer history of where we come from and where we're heading. I am Kenton David Bell. This is Soul Food and Fuel for Your Life. I appreciate your time listening to this content. Please subscribe, and we'll see you soon.